Hello everyone, and I'm super excited to welcome you all at our Borderless JavaScript Community Day 2023. We've got 2 days event, and today, the first day of it. So what are you going to expect from this event? Well, first of all, it is organized with the help of 10 technical communities. So expect some great talks about JavaScript and, of course, about AI. Yep, we're going to talk a lot about AI. So today, you will have a lot of technical talks, and basically they will be, as I said, about JavaScript, about AI, and about things that can help you to actually overcome your challenges, to solve your problems, and to help you as a developer. And I'm pretty much sure that most of you are JavaScript developers, AI developers, or whatevs developers, right? So today, our first day, and we will have the following agenda. So we'll do the game first. Yeah, you heard me right. We'll start with the game. So we're going to start with the JavaScript snake with the help of ChatGPT. Wow, sounds great, right? So this is going to be our first talk. Then we're going to proceed to some more technical stuff, right? Where Nina will tell us more about state management approaches and other tips and tricks that she's super excited to share with us. Then we'll have some fun with guys from FrontSpot BY. So they will tell us more about interesting and tricky things in JavaScript, any things that can actually be beneficial in JavaScript. And surprise, surprise, they will tell us more about how bad English can actually help you and be some feature. Wow, sounds really great. I'm super happy to join this talk as well. Then we're going to move on to UK engineering community. Well, this is going to be super technical stuff. You will hear a lot of good best practices, and in general, you'll know a lot of things that can help you to do your daily stuff as a developer. And last but not least, today, with yet another JavaScript community, you will hear a lot of things about data-driven decisions, about the opportunities that we have in the front-end world today. And of course, it will be great talk as well. So what I do want to highlight is that this event will be super interesting, will be super fun, and I'm super excited to welcome you all at the first day of our Borderless JavaScript Community Conference Day. So let's kick it in and let's do this stuff. So let's proceed to JavaScript Snake low-code solution, and let's see what ChatGPT can do for us here. Back to you guys.
Good morning, good day, community. Today we open with this interesting topic. Thank you, Pavel, for introducing. Do you remember the Nokia phones with a snake game on it? And it was such popular and as ChatGPT right now. Our first speakers combine those two topics together to introduce it to us. My name is Seva Ben. I will moderate this session. For now, before we start, I just want to tell a couple of things about today's conference. It will be recorded and it will be available to you in a week. Also, you can put, and I encourage you to ask your questions on the YouTube channel, and you can post it in the VIA community. Our speakers today are Anton Ilchenko and Artyom, and both are engineering lead experienced guys. I was impressed looking to information about you guys. How do you feel today? What does encourage you to share topics with us today?
Well, it's always interesting to know what's inside and how AI can help us, and we are definitely eager to share our experience, how not just to write a code using ChatGPT, but also how to collaborate, because we think and we really believe that collaboration is a key to success.
This good notion that I wanted to ask you. You prepared this topic not with a single person, but you're a team. You're two. This is impressive collaboration.
Thank you. And also, we would like to have we'd like to demonstrate a quite common situation when one developer works on a project, starts the project actually using AI, and then for some reason, this developer cannot continue to work, maybe assigned to another project or something like that, and another developer can pick up and can work on this project. So this is interesting experience, and we would like to share our experience, and we definitely encourage everyone to ask questions, to tell us maybe about your experience, and because this is very interesting subject, and from our perspective, this could add a very good value to our development process.
Guys, sound exciting. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we will start with the snake game. I guess everyone knows what is the snake game. So this is a game where you control the snake. It's an actor which eats some fruits, and this snake grows over time. And in case if snake hits the borders, or in case if snake eats itself, then it's game over. So we will start with development process. We will start with the very beginning. So first of all, we need to have a technical task, right? So let's start with asking ChatGPT to create a technical technical description, and I cannot tell that it will be a design document or blue doc, but we will create something like this. I'm using my personal ChatGPT account, so you can see GPT 3.5. It's not a paid version, so let's see where it can lead us. So first of all, let's start with some prompt engineering, and if some of you still did not had a chance to pass prompt engineering course in EPAM, I really encourage you to do it. Okay, so let's ask ChatGPT to become a business analyst. So you are a business analyst. I am the client. We need to create a snake game. Please ask me questions to create a design document for the development. And let's see what ChatGPT will do it. So we can see that ChatGPT is generating the document, and it has a lot of questions. And this is a good thing. So of course we will not provide all the questions, all the answers in one document. So we will ask ChatGPT to do it in interactive mode. So please ask me one question at a time, and I will respond in one line. After I provide a response for a document, please move to the next one. Okay, so what is the primary objective or purpose of the snake game? The player controls the snake, which eats fruits and grows with each fruit eaten. If the snake hits the border or hits itself, then it's the game over. That's it. Thanks for providing. Which platforms do you need to release this game? JavaScript running in browser using canvas element. Great choice. Could you provide a brief overview of?
Sorry, I need to interrupt you. There looks like your screen is frozen, and we have a lot of comments. Can you please reshare it?
Of course. Yes. Thank you very much
Thank you.
I will try again. I guess. Can you see it now? No, I guess you cannot. Strange.
I see chat, but empty.
Yeah. No problem. I will try to share my entire screen. I hope you can see it. Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay,
Nice.
great. Thank you very much. Yeah, sorry for this technical issue. Okay, so from the beginning, I wrote a request, I wrote a prompt. You're a business analyst, I'm the client. We need to create a snake game. Please ask me questions to create a design document for the development. And ChatGPT responded with me with a lot of questions. It would like me to know the answers. And I've provided next prompt. Please ask me one question at a time, and I will respond in one line. After I provide response for the current question, please move to the next one. And ChatGPT starts to ask me a question starts to ask me questions one at a line. So I've provided several questions. A brief overview of how the game is played. So the player controls the snake with arrow keys on a field of, I guess, 20 by 20. Yeah. I guess that's it. Do you have a specific result style and the specific graphics of animation you need to include? Graphics should represent date style. More specific animations. How players should control the snake. Keyboard, arrow keys. Will the game have different levels of difficulty? How the players will progress through the game? No difficulty settings, because we want to keep our game as simple as possible. Players progress the game well as they Power up, no power up, but of course we can add them, but not now. How the scoring system will work? Do you want to include a score leading board? No leaderboard. Scoring. So score increases by 1 with each confirmed. Sound and music. No sound and music. No specific. But take a look. Please take into consideration that this is a proof of concept. Of course, we can then add something, add assets, but now we need to have a proof of concept. Monetization, no monetization, but probably in the future we'll create a version with monetizations. Do you have a planned testing game before release and a specific quality standards or requirements to it? The game should not crash. Only manual testing is planned. Timeline and budget. We have no budget, and we need this game to be ready today. And yes, MVP. Team and roles. Who will be involved in development of the game? Do you have a project manager or lead developer assigned? Only one developer and the client. Only legal considerations? No. Thank you. The final question, additional features. Additional features requirements not covered above? No. Everything is covered. Okay, so yes, and it says good luck with development of the game. And it's quite important thing just to provide ChatGPT a context. So please provide me highlights of the product we need to create. Just the highlights. So this is the highlights. So this is just to enforce ChatGPT with context. Sometimes you won't need it, but of course it's a good thing for you as well. Okay, the summary should provide a clear overview. Okay, so now I guess we can start with coding. So now you are the only developer. Please provide me stages of product development with the following format. Stage name, stage description, page description. So project setup. This is actually what do we need to do, and I will I will finish with some. I will finish with some product. I will finish with something that is displayed on the screen, and then I will pass my word to Artyom. Okay, so we have stages. We have like WBS, and we can start. Okay, let's proceed to stage 1. Which actions? Which actions do we need to take? And please provide me a list of files we need to create. Okay, folder, HTML file, JavaScript file, CSS file, necessary assets. Okay, so please let me know if you don't see the screen of my Visual Studio Code, but you should be able to see it. And I guess we can. So this is the terminal. I guess we can. So which do we have? We do index HTML, game.js, style CSS. So we don't create assets. So we will have only index HTML, game.js, style CSS. So index HTML, snake.js. I guess it is game.js, but okay. Let's make as the ChatGPT said, and we need to create styles .css. Okay, so we have all the files created. Okay, great, and let's do git init as well. And let's do git init created structure. Okay, so please provide me completed code of oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, okay. I've accidentally pressed enter, and it started to generate the game. Okay, so now we're moving somewhere. Okay, so let's copy paste code that we have. CSS styles if we need, and game.js. So I press go live button. Oh, look, we have a game. So ChatGPT generated us a game. So I really control it by arrows. Hit the border. There is a game over. There is nothing. I cannot restart it. So you can see that in several minutes we created some sort of POC. Yes, and I see that we also have a game over when Snake ate itself. So yes, I guess that now we have our first part ready. So I will also do it by myself. I will do a git commit. Okay, so let's imagine the following situation. I will switch to here. Oh, sorry. Nice. So let's let's imagine the situation when I finished my work on this project, and Artyom started to work on this project. So I will share with Artyom. I will share the actions that we need and the code. So yeah, yes, just a second. So Artyom, how do you feel? Do you like it?
Yeah, while you're sharing, so we'll make some kind of introduction. So right now we have typical situation when someone already finished his work, and maybe this person, if even no more working on with you on the same company, on the same project, and so on, and how to proceed with this, because mostly we're not working with the new code. We work a lot with the code that is old, that is some legacies that I don't know, maybe you need to make changes in existing some functionality. So I will share my screen. I will use Fiddle.
Okay, yeah, Fiddle.
Like you see all. Yep, you'll see all. And don't share with me some. So okay, the easiest way how to share the code and how to share the work that was made with ChatGPT, it's actually to share the link to the chat. So surprise, but there is a functionality right now in ChatGPT, so you can share the full history. But of course, will it work? So if this person already leave the company and so on. Yep. In my case, actually, I will use this hack, and I will ask ChatGPT to give me the old JavaScript file instead of make some copy from the chat. Yep, like Anton share with me, and I will ask, please. Of course, I write always please, because when ChatGPT will conquer our world, I want to die the last because I was always polite with AI. Please give me full JS file. And it's working. Okay, let's copy it. And while I'm making this all manual work, I will also give me HTML, give me full HTML, give me full HTML file. I will ask you for some interaction with me. Yep. I will show several scenarios how I will modify this game, and also I want you to make modification of this game. And I ask you to write any comments here in chat, or maybe on our YouTube channel. So I right now open it and see the chat. If you wanted to add some feature, please add. It would be nice. And give me full CSS file. Yep, and as I said, this is the easiest way, and I think you wouldn't have such possibility in real project, because someone who will make this will make this with ChatGPT or another AI wouldn't share the link with you. So I would be honest with you, I will create a new chat. So every chat has its own context, and actually it didn't know about anything that you previously talked about. So I have a long history talking with ChatGPT, but this one chat wouldn't know about all these stories and about this snake, and even it don't know about it. And another thing that I want here to mention that actually ChatGPT, as a previous as Anton said, this is the free version. Okay, let's try. I want to make something and add some features, but actually I don't know how to work with ChatGPT. So how we will handle it? Okay, we will just ask ChatGPT how we can work with him. How can I share my JS, CSS, and HTML with you, and you will make some changes in it. I'll be happy, just copy JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Okay, no problem. Oh, before we start, let's try to run this game just to check that everything is working. Okay, not sure why, but you see that, okay, it's working. Let's try to eat something. Yep, all okay. And when we die, what happens? We see alert. Nice. Here is my HTML, my CSS, my JS. Oh, and actually he understands that this is the snake game. Very nice. Okay, first that I want to do with this game, let's see. I want to make some, for example, CSS changes. Yep, and actually when we work with ChatGPT, we need to be very exact for what we want to do. Yep, and I will make a request long. Yep, and what I want to do, I want to change how we finish the game. Yeah, because right now we see the alert, and I want to have some message that would be just on the screen. Please replace the alert with message that will cover the game when you finish the game. Also, every time you need to say that you need to have the full file, because chat generate only the parts that you need actually to replace, but we're lazy, we don't want to do this and to have this. Give me the full file. What else? Okay, we'll see what will happen. Okay, first of all, generate the HTML. We'll already see game, your score, restart. Nice. CSS and JavaScript. Looks like, oh, it's not a full JavaScript file. You see, it's ask you. Okay, we need to ask. Please give me the full JS file with all the lines. Copy it, and we'll try to run. Okay, let's. Yeah, and we have here very, very nice screen. to be honest, when I tried this before, the screen was not so good and not so cool. Okay, and like this, you can work with ChatGPT and ask for new features. Maybe, for example, let me see what else. I want to change the end game message to not the end game. I want to have a start message. Game was developed by Artyom and Anton. Press enter to start. Yep, and features like this. So the chat will generate the code for you. As I previously said, yep, the code is not ideal. You need to review, you need to check it. If we will go through the code itself and check the quality of it, this is not perfect. Yep, you'll see. Because usually such things we make with styles. So ideally, if I was a developer and developed by yourself this game, I will add some class names or class styles and will describe all the styles that need to be done here in styles and add only class name to the element instead of make direct changes. But anyway, this already working technology. Yeah, it's already make some code and it help you to make any changes. So as a result, maybe someone share anything in the chat and want to try by himself to generate some feature, add feature with random extra fruits that give different amounts of. Okay, head should be distinguished. Actually, okay, I see from Sash that this request, it looks like it will be done more easily by ChatGPT and will be more understandable. Let's try. So you see, it's generate. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to try it right now, but looks like this code will work. Anyway, if you want to try it by yourself, I will copy the link to the chat and I will share the fiddle file. And after we will finish, we will share this in our social networks, and you would be able to try to play with this and make changes. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See if you're muted. No problem. Yeah. So as I say, we will share this in our chat, these links, and you would be able to try it by yourself.
And also, if you want, we can have some sort of follow-up tech talk where we can do just a coding with ChatGPT, and maybe we can do some collaboration with in Fiddle. So if you would be interested in such an event, so please let us know and we will organize it, and we'll have just a calm codecast with ChatGPT just to work on a snake game.
Perfect, guys. Thank you a lot. A couple of questions that I monitor that most guys ask to share the code. If you can drop a link, or if it's okay.
Yeah, I will just right now connecting to the chat, to the public, and we'll share it.
Perfect. Maybe if our audience want to also collaborate, they can drop a message here and connect. Perfect. Thank you a lot. I think that the most guys comment about your jokes to be kind of polite with ChatGPT. Sounds impressive. Thank you a lot. Let me introduce our next speaker. We have a beautiful speaker right now with a simple and the hard topic, how to simplify code structure, presented by Nina. Are you here, by the way?
Hi, I can hear you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Let's start then.
Do you want to dive in?
Okay.
Please.
So, hi everyone. Today I'm gonna tell about how we made our front end simpler by using the concept of minimalism and smart nano stores. Sorry. My name is Nina Pergunakova. I'm a front-end engineer at Evil Martians, and we are engaged in product development for both startups and large companies, and we are also actively developing our own open source products. Before I start my talk, I want to share one personal story. When I studied in university, I was attracted by front-end because I can relatively quickly see the visualized result of my own work. And there was a time when 3 tools were now. Developers learned HTML, JS, and CSS, and then we were able to build a client-side application of any complexity. But the world has changed quickly. And today, 3 tools are not enough. We have nowadays a lot of complex tools, and this tendency appeared when we got frameworks. It was believed that frameworks will give us convenience and make the development process easier and faster. But what we eventually received? We received that the modern web development world is becoming more and more complex every year. And the most crucial part of it is that people suffer. Who exactly? The first type of people who suffer from increasing complexity of web development in the world is we developers. We are the first one who met with bad consequences of our own developments. And the thing is that we still need to do a lot of action to make something simple. Despite that the frameworks were believed to give us convenience and make our development process faster and simpler, we still need to make a lot of efforts to receive the same result and receive something simple. For example, we need to set up JS preprocessor, CSS preprocessor, model bundler, test environment, linters, and so on. And our life didn't become easier, and we still need to do a lot of actions. The second type of people who suffer from increasing complexities is users. And if users suffer, everyone else will be suffering later, including business and developers. And the very important fact here is that the average size of web pages is constantly growing up. And if 10 years ago, in 2012, the average web page size was about 800 kilobytes, then the last year it was almost 2,300 kilobytes. That's a big growth. And the larger is the web page, the more time it takes to download this page. And users just leave this page and the conversion becomes slower. And then the business suffers. And not only because of the low conversion, but also because often to do the same amount of work, business have to hire even more programmers, because we still need to fix different bugs. We still need to add different features and enhancements. And if we add the necessary to support old legacy code and solve different conflicts between different tools inside a particular framework, we receive the business need to hire even more programmers than before, and it means wasted time and money. So let's sum up the results. From the growing complexity of web development world, suffer everyone: users, developers, business, and the situation didn't become better. It's even getting worse. And maybe we did something wrong. Maybe we need to do a step back and change something. Let's try to find inspiration in wise ideas from experienced people from our community. And the first one is fold knowledge into data, so the program logic can be stupid and robust. That's a quote from Eric Raymond, a well-known open source ideologue. He highlighted this idea in the book The Art of Programming for Unix as rule of representation. Let's think about how we can apply it. Currently, the world of web development revolves around frameworks. When we choose some tools to implement a new feature in our application, we firstly check if this tool is supported in this particular framework. And some libraries even are written for only one framework. Frameworks are responsible not only for displaying information, but also it affects how we implement features and logic, how we hold and process data. But the smarter is a framework's components, the harder it to maintain, to update, and to test. Maybe we did a mistake with our framework-centric model. Maybe we chose the wrong object as the center of our system. It's the same mistake that mankind already made centuries ago. I'm talking now about heliocentric system. Heliocentric system when it was believed that all celestial bodies revolves around the wrong object, with the Earth and not with the Sun. And only many centuries ago, mankind realized its own mistake, and we went to heliocentric model, and the center of the system is Sun. Let me show you a small video that demonstrates how chaotic will be a planetary motion with heliocentric model with the wrong object in the center, to the contrast with heliocentric model. Great, isn't it? One second. Yes, it was a small lyric pause. Let's come back to our frameworks. We also can change our model and shift the focus from the frameworks to data. So frameworks will be responsible only for displaying information, and in the center of our model will be data. But what do I mean by the concept of data? What is the well-known process in web development world when we process and store some data about application? It's called state management. As a process of maintaining knowledge about applications data with opportunity to share it across the multiple parts of this application and with opportunity to update it. And in this concept, we have the term of stores, the specific objects when we place this data, and we can go to the stores to receive this data later. And we can choose the store-centric model instead of framework-centric model. We move logic into the stores and we move stores outside of the components. So our stores can be smart and the component would be stupid, robust, and be responsible only for showing some information. And that will be closer to our idea about hold knowledge into data. Okay, we have figured out something. Let's try to find more ideas for solving our problem. The second quote is from Linus Torvalds, the lead developer of Linux kernel. Bad programmers worry about the code. Good programmers worry about data structures and their relationships. Let's try to apply it for our problem. Currently, there exists a very popular global state approach with state management when we have some global huge object that contains all data about application, and all components can use this data for its own purposes. But it's not very optimized because usually on any state change, all components need to call the selector function, and also our chunk can hold the data that's not currently using on the user's page. Let's try to optimize this data structure and make it a bit faster. And we can find an inspiration in a pattern from reactive programming. That pattern is called observable pattern when we have one special object that is called observable, and value inside this observable can change. And we also have other objects that are called observers. They are registered themselves as subscribers, and then they can automatically receive the updates from the observable object. We can apply this pattern to the state management with one little enhancement. We haven't got a limitation to have only one observable. We can make many observables so they can contain a small piece of data and not all information about the application. So the component can use only the information that it is need to. So in this model, we have our components as subscribers and our stores as observable objects. So our components can subscribe to the stores and receive the updated values automatically. But in the real world, we have more complex cases. That includes when some data depends on other data. And the solution for such cases in our model will be simple. We just make our store smart, so not only components can subscribe to the store's change, changes, but also stores can subscribe to the other stores' changes. And by this way, we can handle cases when some data depends on other data. Okay, that was the second idea. Let's go to the third one. That's a quote not from a programmer, but from a writer and aviator Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. And I met with the concept of state management the first time when I tried to do something really simple. I had an application and I had to receive some information from the server and show it in multiple parts of my application. And when I started to search how I can make this in the better way, I found out the concept of state management with the complex scheme with different difficult entities like effects, reducers, selectors, and so on, and with difficult relationships between all of them. But in fact, everything that I had to do in that case is just create store with some initial value, then get this value in my component, and maybe later set the updated value. And that is enough for the simple cases. But we also don't need to forget about more complex cases. And the last quote from Albert Einstein is, "Everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler." It means that we want some simple way, but not oversimplified, because we still have got a lot of challenges as developers. And we need some tool that we can solve these problems conveniently. For example, we may want to implement SPA navigation based on application state, or synchronize changes between browser tabs, or automatically translate the content of application, and more and more. We still need to consider this. Okay, we have figured out something. Let's recap all the ideas that we just have come up with. The first one is we need to make components as stupid as possible. We move logic to the stores and stores outside of the components, so components can be responsible only for subscribing to the store's changes and to display some information from it. The second one, we want the process that will be as simple and as minimalistic as possible. In ideal, for the simple cases, it will be enough to have 3 one-line operations: to create store with initial value, to get value from the store, and then to set value in the store. And for cases when some data depends on other data, we can make stores smart. So not only components can subscribe to the store's changes, but make this way that stores can subscribe to other stores' changes too. And of course, we don't need to forget about more complex cases, not oversimplify, and we need to consider different developer challenges like conflict resolution, implementing SPA navigation based on applications data, automatic translations for the content, and so on. We, with other evil Martians, were thinking a lot about what state manager will solve all our problems and suit all our requirements, and we didn't figure out. So we created our own state manager, It's called Nano Stores. Nano because its size is less than 1,000 kilobytes, 1,000 bytes, of course, magnified in gzip. And its ideology revolves around all the principles I just have talked about. Let's see how it works with an example with simple online catalog. We will build a very simple page that have a list of the products on it and the filter field. So when the user types something, the list of items will be filtered by its name. Let's try. The first, we need to import atom function from NanoStores library and initialize our store with the initial array. Each element in array will contain a name and price. And we make this store exportable so we can use it in our components. In our components, we will import the store and subscribe to its changes. To subscribe to its changes, we use the function useStore. In this example, I'm using React, but it doesn't really matter. It's framework agnostic, and you can find this function in other frameworks like Angular, Vue, Solid, Svelte, and so on. So we subscribe to the stores change, and then we just map our list of the products. And here it's map. So we have the list of our items with initial value, but we still need to filter them by the search input below the header. So we will add filtering. The first step that we need to achieve this goal is initialize the store with a string value for our search field. And we initialize it exactly the same way that we did it before with an empty string. And then we use this store with empty string in the search bar component. We use it in input HTML element. We use the value that we subscribe to the store in value attribute. And on change, when the user is typing something, we will set a new value in our store. Okay, we made the search input and connected it with store, but we need also to connect it with our list of items. And that's also simple. Here we need to use a computed function from NanoStores library. Computed function means that this store will be smart and it will be based on other stores. So in the function computed, we pass two arguments. The first one is the list of stores, and the second argument is the callback function. When any of the stores in the list are changed, we will invoke the callback function. And in our case, this function is just filter our values, our products, by the value that is typed inside our search input. And finally, we just need to use this computed store in our component. We will import it exactly the same way. And we will map the list of values in the store. And here we are done. When the user is typing something in the field, the list of the products are filtering automatically. We believe that moving to easy to understand processes is important and necessary. So when the next time you will need a state manager in your project, try to choose a minimalistic approach. And just in case, Nana stores will be ready to help you with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. This is such a great topic to make something simpler. I saw this first time, and this was understandable. That's pretty good. In our chat, thank you. In our chat, guys mentioned about declarative to make as such as possible. And one question to you. Can you please share and explain the difference NGRX and Nana stores also? Any experience Nana stores with Angular framework?
Sure. Yes, in fact, I supported Nana stores in Angular. They weren't supported. And I decided to do it because I don't know the really convenient state manager inside Angular. And NGRX has a problem that I explained about different complex entities. And there are really a lot of them. And also there is a lot of boilerplates to make it work. And one time that I learned about NGRX, it was exactly that time that I found the scheme with different complex entities, and I didn't like it. So NGRX is not about really minimalism. And I see the question there, good for small or middle project. We use Nana stores for both small and middle projects, and it's very convenient in small projects because you just can create some small stores and use it in small components, and it will be very simple without a single boilerplate. And in middle project, it will be convenient too because we already have a big ecosystem, for example, to make a smart fetching, so our stores can receive some values from the server and then maybe refresh them and other functions. So it works completely fine in middle projects, and we use it for commercial development already too.
Thank you for answering. You're rocking our conference. We have 2 more questions in the VR community and 1 more question. Let me, Adam asks, did you wrote your own integration with it?
Oh, unfortunately, don't see this question. I wrote an integration, like the only part that is not working in a new framework for Nana stores is a function useStore. So in every framework, there is a specific logic, so the component inside the project can subscribe to its value. So I added integration for useStore function that allows to subscribe to the store's value in the Angular component. So that's the idea of the integrations.
Perfect. You integrated ideally. Thank you a lot. Guys are seeking for your next presentation. You can, as you see it. Thank you a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
And we got a game which you can participate and win something. I'm just passing the word to our next game makers.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. So, yeah, as previous speaker told, today we will have a game. It will be Kahoot with some questions about JavaScript, and you can win some good stuff. For the first place, we will have a ChatGPT 4 license. So please connect. And while you're connecting, a couple of words about us. Alexander.
Yes, so both of us, Andrew and I, and also Ira, our moderator for today's game, are representatives from the FriendSpot community. So we do a lot of communities connected with hard and soft skills, connected with front-end part, of course. So, and for today, we will present you several questions. We are not familiar with them because it is just an initiative from our moderator Ira. So that is why the algorithm of our today's game will be that we will answer several questions connected with JS or maybe not with JS. And we will try to answer them also with you guys. So it will be interesting because maybe for us, it will be quite a risk about confidence of our CD, something like that.
Yeah, as you can see on previous slide, we are quite experienced engineers. Alexander is a senior engineer, right? And I'm a lead software engineer. And so let's see how we know JavaScript with
How
you.
we will ruin our reputation during this stream.
I guess definitely we will fail something. Let's see how worst it will be. So yeah, let's wait a couple of minutes
Yes,
more to
maybe
join.
let's make one addition. So of course you will have during the game options to answer. So that is why you do not propose something from yourself, and that is why nobody will know if you do not know something from one sphere. So just guess, and it will be okay. So that is why just confident in yourself, and let's enjoy the game.
And let's try to make it fun
Yep.
with us. Okay, so I see we have quite a lot of persons who want to join us and who want to win the main prize. So let's roll.
Yeah, power introduction. Ooh,
3,
let's do
2,
it.
1. Okay. Okay.
So function and function.
Yeah, we have
You
an
know
argument.
that every task that connecting with console log in some function have some risks that you predict some behavior, but in the result you will be disappointed because you can
I
not guess
see
any
that
right answer.
couple of closures here.
Yep, closure. Yep, I
A
also
lot
see
of.
that.
Alexander, are you familiar with closures? How you like it?
I do not like closures, to be honest, but sometimes they're inserted inside projects, so that is why you should be familiar with it. If if you do not want to break some functionality in future.
And so, okay, what is your guess here? Because I think it will be. Oh, okay.
I will choose
it
second
should
with
be.
2.
I think it should be 1, but yeah.
So have different opinions. Interesting. Can you have some arguments on your position?
Okay, I see that the first function argument is x, right? And we pass it in the first closure, and this is 1. And after that, I see that this function will return one more closure, which I think should have access to the original one. So this is, yeah, and we have for a couple of seconds. Yeah, let's see the answer. And this is one. And actually, a lot of people had the same
Yeah.
guess as me. Whoa.
Nice move, guys.
Okay. Let's go to the next question. And yeah, we have already a couple of leaders.
Score points, yep.
Okay.
Some asynchronic operations, nice.
It looks a bit harder, right?
Yep.
Mm,
So as
Can
far as I
our-
remember, promise race connected with parallel execution of some functions, yep.
But
Am I right?
it's not a parallel execution actually in JavaScript, right?
But if we speak about promises, what will be the sequence of execution?
Okay. Okay. Actually, unfortunately, I never used promise race
So am I.
in my
Yep.
experience.
I
And
just use
have
promise
no
all.
idea.
Yep, I know about promise all, but about promise race, it is quite a rare case. But still, we have this in our quiz.
Okay. Let's obviously guess again. I don't know. Let it be 2 and 1, the green one.
Yep. I also
yeah.
rely on this position.
Okay, so looks like we are not very familiar with that.
Looks like we have our clever audience.
Yeah.
That can write
41 person who knows JS better than us.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next question.
Bad statistics for us.
Okay.
And now the leader was changed. Interesting.
Oh, nice. Emojis. Like it.
And erase. Do you remember the difference between slice and splice? It's about inserting something in the position.
Yeah, I know. Slice is for slicing and splice is for splicing.
It's so evident.
Yeah, and I think the banana is what we get after the squeeze because of our answers. So slice 0, 2. Okay, unshift.
So I think that we so we have all options with grape.
Yeah.
I think that 3 items will be in the final array. So red option.
Yeah, the red one, I think. So if everybody's ready, let's see the answer. Okay, let's wait a bit. Oh,
nice. I have at least one right answer during this
quiz. We are
quiz.
ruling the opinions. Let's go to the next one. Whoa.
So
the lock is still at the first place.
Oh, it is even not JS. Nice.
What part of the email contains a typo? Very important meeting.
I have doubts about signature. Do we use kind regards?
I don't think that's the kind actually. So yeah, I think it's a signature.
Yeah, it's keen. Oh man.
Definitely.
So the error in signature, yep.
But if you're in England, maybe it can be and king regards. You know that a couple of people can use it. Let's move to the next one. Oh.
New leader, nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we are again with JavaScript.
So something about the types.
No, I don't.
And how we
think.
align times between each other. So we have two strings in both cases, as far
I
as I
think
see.
it should be green one because these both are strings, right? And it's
Yep,
not
yep,
like a
yep.
comparison. It's just like a string and string, and I think it should be true and true again. So hello, goodbye should be the right
Yep,
answer
yep, I
from my
agree.
perspective. Let's see what we have. Game Master, please
Game master.
show us the truth. Oh yeah,
Nice.
okay, not so
Nice.
bad for us. Okay,
So Sujit on the
let's
first
move
place
on.
state.
Yeah, but we already see Bilok, who was the previous leader. Maybe
Yep,
he
yep,
has a
yep.
chance.
Bilok, we believe in you.
Let's go to the next question. Okay, the JavaScript again.
And again, something with array.
Oh, did you use seal actually in your
No.
experience? Let's
I
learn
used
something
slice
about
and
arrays.
slice before, but feel.
Okay.
Let's just use it according to its translation, maybe. So to fill is maybe like an insert something.
Yeah, but what we should fill with this like numbers?
Maybe these numbers
I
are
mean,
positions in initial array.
yeah, I think it should be like a constant number of arguments, right? In fill, because it's not an array. It's just like
So maybe 0 and 2, it is starting position and ending position in array. So between 0
okay.
and 2,
And
we
what is
had
4?
1 and 2. And 4, maybe the argument that we should insert in this array.
But we have 1 and 3, right? But because second element it's 3, not 2.
But still, according to my position, only green options looks like a truth, because with 1 and 2 and something except of it, I see only 1, 2, and 2 zeros.
Okay, I will bet for the red one because for me I think it's more reasonable.
Okay.
Let's see maybe then what we have.
Hey.
Okay. But
Logic, you know.
4 people more thought that it's green, that it's red, so not so bad for me. Let's go to the next one. Interesting why some people thought that it's 4 all the time.
Congrats to Konstantin.
Yeah, looks like he used fill previously. Let's see.
HTML. Okay.
Oh, it's not only HTML, it's a CSS. What is the color of div's border? All right.
Current color. Is it a variable?
Oh, yeah, this is a CSS variable, I think. Did you use them?
Do we have enough context, meanwhile, in this task in order to choose right option?
Yeah, I think because this is like, it's kind of standard
So if
CSS.
we do not define a variable, I think that we should use some default value, yep?
Definitely.
So default color of a browser looks like a predicted answer, for my opinion.
I think that it should be the current color of this element. Like if we have color already, so current color should be the same.
So
I
we
think.
have, I think, two logical alternatives, like white, because if we do not have border, we will have white because background is white.
No.
My logic is correct, so we should use default color of browser.
No, but we don't know about the background of other elements. Maybe it's
Yep.
white, but parent element is blue, for example, and we have color of body. That can be also logical. But
So my
I
choice
think it
will
should
be
be red.
default color of browser.
Okay, let's see what we have. Hey, this is red.
Okay.
And you ruin 30 people with your opinion.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the
Sorry,
next
guys.
question. Oh, saying goodbye to Konstantin. He's
And welcome to Natalie.
gone. Yeah. Okay. JavaScript again.
How often do you use Switch meanwhile in your project?
Actually, in 99% of cases, I think that it's a bad idea to use switch. So yeah, I prefer to use maybe ternary operators, so if-else conditions. Not sure that we have a lot of situations when we need to use switch. But
I think that if we have, for example, options with enums with concrete values, so it will be helpful.
But if you have enum, I think you can just use enum and the name of a variable that you want to check in the square brackets, and
Okay.
it will return true and or false if the condition is true. So then don't think that we need switch case. But anyway, it
Looks
can
rational.
be.
Let's
So
return
we
to the
have
task. Yep.
2 case. Okay, case 3 and break. So I think it should be 1. The red. The
I
red
think that
answer, I
one
guess.
and oops, because all operators before break should be executed, as far as I remember.
Yeah, but the condition is okay. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what we have, because I'm not super familiar with switch case, so maybe you're right. Game master, please show us the truth. Okay. You know something about tricky
I'm
chess.
expert of switch operators. Yep.
All right. Next question. Oh, Natalie is still here. Congratulations. We're near the end. Code again. Oh, closure. It's closure again. Ooh.
You know, Game Master know our weak places, so that is why second task about
Definitely.
closures, it is
Yeah,
strong.
definitely she is.
Yeah.
Okay. So count 0, immediate.
I even can't write. I can choose any option.
I think it can be okay.
Maybe 0 and maybe 1 and 0.
Yeah, I think it can be 1 and 0, but no. Okay. I don't know. Let it be 1 and 0. It's not my strong part. So let's check. Please show us the answer. Yeah. Okay. Not so hard.
Just rely on your heart, you know.
Yeah. Guessing is the right way.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
So during the 3 questions, Natalie keeping leader place.
It's a hat trick.
Yep.
Okay. Let's move on. 2 questions more. Again.
Delete.
Okay, console log func.
Do we use delete with object properties, or we can also delete some arrays, something like that? Do you remember?
Actually, I don't think that we can delete the argument of function. Yeah, looks like
I think that
we should wait
undefined.
later about our
I have doubts between undefined
inappropriate
and
titles.
reference error, something like that. Dell we choose undefined because blue is my favorite color. So
I
strange
like
logic.
reference error variant, so yeah, I will go to the green one. And let's check what we have. Okay. Only one person, Alexander, only one. This was a question with the star. Let's move to the next question. And Natalie is still here. Whoa. Okay. Let's move on.
Type answer.
We have a strong leader already.
Oh man.
What is the name of song encrypted in this code? Oh.
Looks
Type
similar
that.
to one of the sections that we have on regular base on our FriendSpot community. So our watchers, so that is why you can subscribe on FriendSpot community account in Instagram, and you will see all examples of these questions here. As far as I remember, it is called Muse.js. So that is why you can open it in highlights and guess with us.
This is social network. It's WhatsApp, right?
Yep. What? Maybe something. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Down. So something like that.
You think
Head
it's
away,
what is
if I
love?
remember group. What is love?
Yeah. Okay.
Name of the song.
Okay.
Head
I
away,
hope.
as far as I remember. Name of the group.
Yeah. It sounds
You
reasonable.
remember the melody?
Yeah.
Head away.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. And it's what is love? Okay.
What is hard?
Actually, a lot of people know this song. Looks like. And let's move on. Before we will see the leader, please. This is the link QR code for our Instagram where you can grab your prize. If you won the first place, please go to that link and write us a message or drop your email, and please make a screenshot with the results table with your name that it's your, and yeah, please contact us if you want the prize. So
What is your feelings, Andrew, after our quiz?
I think it was actually quite hard, but I think we answered half of the questions in the right way.
Yeah, near it. So my favorite
Yeah.
question is about the song, and also about English part, because I do not very strong maybe in JS basics, but questions connected with creativity and to catch something. So I think it is my
Yeah, I think in
perspective.
regards is my favorite too. I think I should use it a couple of times and check will somebody catch me or not with this trick.
And maybe after it, somebody will invite you on the English assessment in order to improve your English skills.
Okay. Anyway, I hope that the persons who think that they can win already scan this QR code and open our Instagram, and I think we can see the results. Please show us. And third place, Filippo, congratulations.
No, Natalia on
Natalie
the
is
second
second.
place.
And who is the leader? Eugen.cv. Okay, Eugen, please
Interesting.
contact
So
us.
I think that the last question about the song lead Evgen to the leader position.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think we have more creative player who knows the songs. And yeah, if you like such questions, you can follow us on Instagram. We have there something similar sometimes. And if you want to know something more about FrontSpot community, you can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. So
And
yeah.
meanwhile, both of us are representatives of the FrontSpot Talks. So it is a series of our streams where we talk about different topics connected with development, something like that. So except of us, we have two wonderful guys, Anton and Zhenya.
Yeah.
So hello for them.
Thank you for your answer. Thank you for your patience, and have a good conference. And yeah,
Yeah, have a nice
all
day.
from our side.
What is love? Guys, it was very, very interesting to see your thoughts, and it was a pretty good experience for me also. I'm not a lot of front-end engineer JS. Our next speaker is Alexander Barmin. Good day, Alexander.
Good day, Seva. Nice to see you. Nice to hear you. How are you doing? What's the best in your location today? Where are you from, by the way?
I am currently in Poland, and our speakers are from anywhere, if I'm anywhere. As I see on the Alexander's LinkedIn page, he is describing himself as he have a passion for Java-based frameworks. Also, he has a PhD. Also, he have a YouTube channel, and on this YouTube channel, I saw this kind of Google designed interviews when you are solving the programming problems.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I do my best in order to increase my public presence, and that's true. I have already conducted 15 episodes of the Weekly Link show, and right now I'm driving a new lead code with me show when I solve coding challenges, like from lead code. And in case you want to support me, you always can subscribe to my channel. I will be really happy to see new subscribers there.
Thank you, Alexander, for sharing, and thank you for your videos. Talking to today's topic, as you have a PhD, do we expect a very serious talk today?
No. So obviously not. I have already seen a couple of previous talks, and all of them are really technical, and they're fun as well. And what I want to talk about in my talk today, I think you will know more about it during the talk itself. It's not a technical talk. It's just my previous experience in building different kinds of software and issues I faced doing that. So it's not a rocket science or maybe brain surgery. You will definitely enjoy this talk. And of course, it is about developers' effectivity, developers' efficiency, and about predictability, obviously. So nothing about PhD. You're right.
Thank you, Chief Software Engineer. The stage is yours, and I am excited.
Good. Thank you very much, Seva, for setting this stage for me. Let me start. And as ordinary, I'd like to start by introducing myself. As I already was introduced, I'm a Chief Software Engineer. I've been to software engineering for more than 12 years. So honestly, I don't really remember when I started, but I remember I wrote first line of code in 1995, many years ago. I have experience in different business domains like enterprise content management, education, legal, banking, and so on. Obviously, I have failed projects. I failed a lot, and I want to share some stories with you today. And apart from having a PhD and YouTube channel, which is more important, I am a head of UK engineering community. If you want to join a new immersive community, follow this link and you will join us. Well, and today we're gonna talk about things you as developers deal with every day. Complexity. But before we start, I have a question to ask. How to make the delivery predictable? Even if you're a manager, you know what to do, right? You know already. You need to hire and engage brightest engineer you can find on the market, right? The highest 5% of engineers. You need to establish clear and stable requirements. You never change it. You set it in stone, it's there. You have to have well-defined architecture. You can involve big head architects in order to do that. You need to follow best engineering practices, solid, clean architecture, well-designed framework, keys, dry, and so on. All of them, you should follow all of them, otherwise it will not work. You need to build microservices because it's modern approach of delivering software nowadays. You have many independent beasts and pieces, and all of them can be deployed independently, scaled independently. It's a modern way of delivering predictable, right? You also should use clouds because, if you have your own data center, it is not so fascinating as it should be. Because if you on Amazon, you can say, our clients are widespread across the globe. This is fantastic marketing. Also, you should definitely use all the modern tools we have And obviously, you should use AI. ChatGPT, Copilot X, Code Whispers, anything you can find, you should use. You need to establish CI/CD because without streamlining the delivery process, you can't deliver your software in a predictable way. And you have to be agile. In order to be agile, you have to follow all the daily ceremonies. Without ceremonies, agile does not work. So I suppose it's a good time to wrap up my talk because I have already told you all the secrets how to make delivery predictable. But the question is, does it all work? And it's a very, very good question because I was working on many projects and complexity is the single thing we need to deal with. Let's start with a simple example. I'm in London right now, but previously I lived in a different country. And as an immigrant, the first thing I need to do is to open a bank account. You know how to do it, yeah? You take all the documents you have, you go to the bank branch, you show all your documents and everything you have, and after magically in a few days, you will be happy owner of a new current account and a debit card. It's simple as a finger click. When I started a new digital, fully automated onboarding journey for one of our customers, I finally realized how complex it is. We have data capture. We need to make sure that our applicant entered all the necessary data in the proper way. Apart from that, we need to be sure that people who try to apply is who they are in the reality. We need to do identity verification. And in case if you're in the bank branch, the person who sits in front of you can do it by his own eyes. It's easy. But when you're, for example, doing it in an automated way, it's hard. You need to prove that document your applicant shown to you is a real original. You need to do document verification. And finally, you can create a customer and open account. It sounds easy, but actually inside the bank, there are many software systems and all of them should be updated in the consistent way. And finally, you need to issue your bank card. It is easy, well, yes and no, because apart from that, we also have bank regulations. We also have local rules. We have some rules of processing the data, personal data, and many others. And actually, all these things are called inherited complexity. It seems complicated because it is really complicated. Our world is complicated. And on top of it, we put another layer, a software. And the software brings accidental complexity. We can't do anything with the existing inherited complexity because the world is hard, but we can deal with the complexity with the software we create. Modern software development is not the same as it was 15 or 20 years ago. I heard the story if you build a Snake game for this ancient Motorola device and you need to release the same game for the different platform, for Nokia, for example, you have to build it from scratch. It's a completely new software. You never asked to release a Snake 2.0 game with advertisement bonuses and paid subscriptions. In order to get a new version of the Snake game, our customers has to go and buy a new cell phone. Nowadays, the world is different, and the software have to adapt to changing business requirements. It should easily accommodate new business requirements, new business features. We have to be agile. And software engineers also have to deal with it. We predict changes. We do our best to predict changes. We add extension points like interfaces with multiple implementations. We add feature toggles. We version our API. We split our users. We add layers of abstractions. We externalize configuration and even add user-friendly admin interfaces in order business people to be able to configure our software on their own. But in common, what we do, we make our software even more complicated and increase accidental complexity. Yes, we actually create a complexity for our own, for developers, because we have to support and maintain this software. complexity make it hard to adopt a new change, you can just go and add a new REST endpoint to the big enterprise software, because you have to build a specification first. This specification has to comply with local rules, with data dictionaries, data vocabularies. You have to follow local best practices. You need to make sure that no of existing contracts is broken. Well, it's hard. It's not easy, it is hard. And in order to tackle this complexity, we as engineers already come up with a great option. We decided to introduce microservices. Unfortunately, I can't see your reaction right now, but in case if you put pluses into the chat, I will see that actually you use microservices and you've been into the situation like I explained. So I encourage you to put pluses into the chat. And to tackle all these things, you can say, well, you are not in the ancient era, you're ancient dinosaur, because nowadays to solve all these problems, we follow modern design practices. We create microservices. They are small, tiny, you can just go ahead and replace one box with another. You can have any spaghetti code inside, it doesn't matter until it works. Yes or no? Well, no, because you have to think about deployment, you have to think about semantic versioning, you have to do canary releases in order not to affect your users. You have to think about reliable sync and async communications. Now you have clouds with cryptic payment strategies, and it is not an overwhelming list because it grows as more technologies you bring. But what's happening in reality is that we bring more complexity to what is already complicated. But actually, we shouldn't. We are victims of our own smartness. If we take a look into the failed project, it's really easy to start finger pointing. But I want to point to myself and ask what I have done to make things even more complicated. Actually, we as developers, we made software harder than it should be. We can identify 5, 10, 20 things, but let's focus on the most interesting. The first example is from my life. Years ago, I was working on a project for one of the world's biggest airlines. We needed to replace an existing ECM solution with a brand new software. And this software should be flexible enough in order to accommodate many changes in business requirements and in order parts of it to be used in different projects in future. Isn't it a bright, shiny new goal? What can go wrong, obviously? Well, we knew that components will be reused, so that we come up to the design wisely, and we designed it with reusability and extensibility and obviously configurability and many other abilities in mind. Isn't it awesome? Yes, when you sit in a meeting, it is not fascinating with other developers. It is not fascinating to say, I am building a form of incoming document. I'm building a review assign process. I'm building the boring business application, and it will be done by the end of the day. The next day, the application will start bring revenue to the customer. No, it's boring, because the person who sits next to you says he builds a framework. He builds an abstract factory, and bidirectional root path resolver, Impel, and other clever things from Gango for book and other clever books. Yes, this guy is smart. He is really cool and extremely clever. If you ask him why it is necessary to have an abstract factory, there will be definitely will be a holistic answer saying that it will help in future projects. It will help dozens, if not hundreds of engineers to build their software quicker. But will it help the business? Come on, you don't have to be boring. You need to start thinking out of the box. Okay, by the end of the day, all these factories, configurers, and adapters are written, and you may start writing the actual business logic. But you remember, the software should be configurable. So there should be a way to change the behavior. Well, how we can make it worse? By using XML or JSON? No, we did it worse. It's a Stone Age. Everybody can read our JSON and steal our business data. We use JavaScript and Groovy for configuring. We had code written in Java using Java EE, that's true, and it was run on IBM WebSphere application server and took 15 minutes to deploy the change, and developers start struggling with it. So we come up with an idea, why shouldn't we give them an interface then they can put their changes a piece of code into the form and changes applied immediately. It was a great idea. Development experience were improved drastically. But when we started delivering the application to customer, we understood that the configuration is inconsistent. No one except developers can write these groovy scripts to set color of a button. Performance is slow because of too many moving parts and layers of abstraction. Application just does not work of some configuration conflicts. At the end of the day, yes, we built a framework for building ECM solutions. It was configurable enough to accommodate any changes, but the project was failed. We failed the project. So what I learned that unnecessary flexibility makes your software worse. It is easy if it is easy to hard. If it's hard to test the application, it's hard to develop it. If it's hard to develop it and test it, it's really hard to prove that it works properly, and it's hard to predict behavior after changes. We have to move forward. Have you ever been in the situation when you look at your code and can't understand how it works? It's been a few times and I'm not really happy with it. Again, another example from my ECM past and previous experience. I'm talking about it now because the software were rewritten. Now it works as expected and don't have these strange side effects. But at the moment of debugging, I spent days trying to catch these bugs. When modern document-oriented database like MongoDB were not yet available, there was another major player on the market. It was IBM Domino. I really like it because it allowed to write software really quick. Rich development environment, flexible document model, simple programming language on top of Visual Basic. Everyone knows basics. Basic, right? Right. So I will show a piece of code. As ordinary code is split into libraries. On the left-hand side, you can see the library, which is super simple. It has a function, it has a variable on top. The variable is defined as dim doc as .document. Well, name doc is really suspicious here because we're in the document management domain, and doc is widely used in this application. And this is a global variable. And in most scenarios, application works gracefully until one single piece. We have a dialog which opens a document, and this document, when it's open, it uses library B, and library B imports library A and does some changes in it. Don't you see any suspicious line in the library B? Well, if you see it, please put it into the chat, but let me proceed, because when you have a big code base, it's really hard to find a place when this global variable mutates. Because the main problem is, this is a really unexpected change, because in case if software is designed properly, you never have it, but right now you faced it. And this is the most cryptic thing. It is called unexpected mutability. Have you ever been in a situation when you look at the code and can't understand how it works? I've been a couple of times and I'm not really happy with it, because there are two kinds of code I really don't like. Code that does not work, but I can sort out it and ask the question, what is wrong with it? I can fix it. And on the other hand, there is a code which works but shouldn't, and it is really hard to deal with it. The problem I described earlier happens because of uncontrolled mutability. The code should be as transparent as possible in order the other developers not to struggle so much to understand what is not good with the code. We write software to be executed on computers, but to be maintained by humans. If it is really hard to read the code, it is hard to maintain it. It should be as simple, and if not, it should be extremely well documented. Time to deliver a change can be directly converted into money. More complicated change costs us more money. It doesn't matter if change is stupid. It works, that's fine. Moving forward. What every programmer does every day? You can say that you solve business problems, add new features to the application, you write new code, but actually what you do is you stare at your code for hours, trying to understand what it does. When you're in the stream of work, any interruption can make you angry. You have just spent an enormous amount of time and energy trying to build a mental model of code, and you're in the middle of complicated computation somewhere in your head, and you're interrupted. Hope now you understand what software feels when it is interrupted by process manager. After saying of a few bad words, you're starting to load this mental model back into your head, and all these interruptions are completely brain damaging. But why are we building so sophisticated mental models? Just because software components are interconnected, and as more relationships every component has, it is more complicated to reason regarding its behavior. Some time ago, I was working on a very complicated software for publishing legislation of the European Union to the data mart. In a nutshell, it is nothing but XML processing. We all know that how to do it. Part of the system was written from scratch in Java. It was a data reader. Another part was written in Perl. It was an HTML converter because the system initially was developed many years ago, even before XML was invented. Next bit was written in different programming language. It was document converter. Another one is table of content creator, and even piece of the software were written in Lua just because this piece of code was executed in the Redis cluster. So it looks like software you write every day, right? Because we have many pieces of code, all of them were orchestrated by a collection of bash scripts. So nothing can make it worse. If it is not bad enough, you can add bash scripting to make it even worse. And when you load all these components into your head, it can blow up already. But for me, it was necessary to extend this software and add support of another type of document. When we opened the code base, what we realized is that it is not only hard because it's big, it is also not well structured. A lot of methods, many nested ifs, no comments, no meaningful names of variable. And in order to add new document type, it was necessary to extend and write a few more lines in every single application. It was painful, but we did it. But why was it painful? It was painful because we had tightly coupled components, and it is really hard to maintain tightly coupled code, and it is even harder to extend it. It's all about frequency of changes. If the code does multiple things, like in my case, it supports multiple document types, it has many reasons to change. It has low cohesion. And in order to introduce any tiny change, we need to keep all this code base in mind. It's mind-blowing. So in order to make, again, your development and delivery predictable, you need to write simple code, which is really easy to maintain. If you're long enough into software engineering, you know that you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. You can just add a dependency. But how many dependencies do you really have and manage in your projects? So if you're still with me here, please write it down into the comments. I want to see how many dependencies are in your projects. And I want to explain and want to show to you my project. Okay. In a nutshell, it has REST API, it has a few message listener, all good. It's a normal project in enterprise. All these interfaces are on top of the service layer, which is fine as well. We have data access layer, and all these components are written in Spring Framework, and I really like it. I know that conference is about JavaScript, but I really believe that you have exactly the same problem in JavaScript world as well. And Spring Frame and we use Spring Framework just because organization uses it everywhere. And Spring Framework has its own dependencies. It is hundreds of dependencies. And I'm really proud and I'm really happy that Spring Framework manages all these dependencies on its own because it is mind-blowing because we have many dependencies. If you need to deal with database, you need to bring a dependency like a Hibernate, and this Hibernate will not work with a particular version of ByteBuddy or CGLib. There should be a very strict dependency between dependency versions, and I'm really happy that Spring Framework deals with it, because it's extremely hard to find a fragile balance to make everything working. Well, but the problem is, because we have many dependencies, and I am still suffering from it. Every time any dependency has a vulnerability, the build pipeline blocks, they work fully. Just because someone can steal all your customer data via vulnerability in the YAML library that reads one single configuration file, then application start. This is a major vulnerability. I would admit it's major vulnerability. You cannot proceed anyway. You have to carefully update all these libraries, all these dependencies, and other libraries that relies on it. So you have to take all your mind capacity, find all the interconnections with dependencies, and update them one by one. Well, but still, it is not happening as regularly as it should be, but still it happens. If you work in a big project in a big company, most of the reusable components should have already been written for you. If you need login monitoring, there is a library. If you need audit, it is here already. You need retries back off, just take a library, DTO, problem solver lib, and any other magic lib you want to have, you have it. And until I started using dependencies which are maintained by other teams, I never fully believed that Jarhell exists. Every library I use has its own collection of tweaks. Every library has its own version of dependencies, and not all of them work together. Just because my fantastic code is on top of it, I still have a big bunch of dependencies. You know, Java 11 is going out of support in 2 weeks, and I have to update my project to use Java 17. My code, which is on top of it, it can be executed with any Java version. I don't really need to even think about it. But it has many dependencies, and all these dependencies cannot run on Java 17 because I need to carefully update them, maybe not one by one, but at least replace the Spring Framework. And another important thing to mention while talking about dependency is technology addiction or CV-driven development. How many of new fantastic features which were introduced in Java 21? By the way, it was released yesterday. Vector API, string templates, unnamed patterns, and many other cool features. Other than that, we have Spring Boot 3, which also was released, and I can start using it. Many features. But why haven't I adopted it yet? Don't get me wrong, I really like new things. I even have YouTube show when I'm talking about Java and new things, but I don't want to do it just because I shouldn't be the one single person who knows it. Don't follow resume-driven development. You can't just go and introduce a library just because it looks good in your resume. Imagine you hire a person with a big list of libraries in your list. I know, its time is up, just a few slides left. Next slide will be the final one, no worries. And what's the problem? The question you need to ask is, when he joins or she joins the team, will he bring all these libraries to the project? And I see its time is up and I have to wrap up, and this is my last slide, by the way. I showed a few examples of accidental complexity from my previous experience, and I believe you may show even more examples from your personal experience. First of all, I want to say is that inherited complexity comes with business domain and you can't remove it. Accidental complexity is something you introduce on your own. Do your best to remove it. And actually, as for me, the main skill for the software engineer to see difference between accidental and inherited complexity. Yes, you may foresee some great places for extensibility. You make components configurable, extensible, replaceable, and so on. Unfortunately, you can learn how to do it by reading books or watching YouTube. You have to learn it on your own mistakes. And this is how engineering maturity grows. We talked about different things, sources of which accidental complexity is coming from. I am sure you can add even more to this list, but it's my story. And actually, this is the main answer to the main question I asked at the very beginning of the talk. What can we do to embrace predictability in software engineering? Beat accidental complexity. Run away from it. We shouldn't learn how to deal with we should learn how to deal with complexity. We have to have the wisdom to minimize it. Maintainable code is a gift we're giving us to the future. Hope that was useful. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander. It was very useful, and I think that it was quick in the end, but I still hope that it was effective for our audience. And maybe there are guys send a couple of questions. If you have an access, maybe you can answer in any form you are comfortable.
I don't think I have. Yeah, unfortunately, I see. I finally managed to find a proper tab in the interface to answer the question. I see question from Sonic Volk, and I see he put plus when I asked. Thank you very much. It's my royal like to you. Also, there is a question. Let me choose one and answer it. Also, what if an experienced developer is heading the team and making bad decision? How can we change that better? From my experience, the complicated and significant decision should not be made by one single person. That's true. This is why we have audit, and this is why we have, let's say, engineering community. If you think that this is a big decision which may affect many teams, which should be addressed properly, you can bring a proposal to some group of other engineers for review, and they can say, okay, this decision is good, nevertheless, these bits should be improved. It is really hard for selfish people. I admit it is hard for selfish people to follow this. But you know, our software should not suffer from decisions of one single person. So what I would recommend you to do in this scenario is to ask this engineer to present his decision at least to the group and address all the concerns. It's painful, you have to answer very inconvenient questions, you need to address many things, but still at the end, it will make your solution better. You know, roughly speaking, 10 years ago, I was thinking, when I did this exercise, I was asking myself, why do they ask questions? Don't they see my shiny, bright idea? And year after year, I realized that mind map in my head and mind map in the head of my colleagues is not the same. We need to fill this communication gap. This is why we have diagrams. This is why we have communities. We have forums. We present our solutions. This helps us to equal our understanding. And maybe it is definitely worth doing that because people help us. Hope I answered your question. Thank you very much for asking it.
Thank you, Alexander, for answering. I saw the good conversation in the chat with Sonic Walk. And we need to go to the next speakers. Thank you a lot again, Alexander.
Thank you very much for having me today. I wish you a fantastic conference and a good day. Well done.
Please subscribe to Alexander's YouTube channels also. Thank you. And our next speakers, two of our speakers. Hello, Mikhail.
Hello, Siva. Yep. Hello, Willy.
Hello, Willy.
Hey, hello.
Okay. Yep.
Are you ready to start from?
I think, yeah, we are not ready because the PPT is not for schooling, right? Yes. Okay, I think, yeah, we are ready. Let me try to full screen this and we can start, Siva. Okay.
For sure.
Yep.
Best luck, guys. We are here.
Yeah. Okay, and first, it's our great honor to be here. This is Michael from EPAN System Shenzhen branch office, and Willy from Chengdu branch office. And hope in coming around 50 minutes, we will bring some value or interesting stuff to you guys. And for today, our topic is business transformation with the front-end technologies. Yeah. So let's take a look of our agenda of today. So this session was prepared by AEPJ's community. And so first we will introduce ourselves and our community a little bit, and more like AD or similar, okay? And then we will have a business transformation overview and a front-end technology or services enabler and practices. And we also prepared two reference transformation cases. And last but not least is Willy will give one end-to-end business transformation demo. Yep. I assume that part will be very interesting. Yep. And last part will be Q&A. Yep. So first, I think is question comes to who we are. Yeah. So we are from AEPJ's community, and if we take a look of the right side of this page, you will see for AEPJ's community, right? First we have AEP community manager Anna, and for Michael and me is AEPJ's community head here. If you want to contact us, and you can scan the QR code on the top right corner, and also you can send email to EPAM AEPJ's community at epam.com. Okay. And I also try to, let's move to the left side is when AEPJ's community try to conduct sessions, we normally try to mix or introduce an engineering excellence into our sessions. The first is engineering thinking, and which normally start from some business problems, and which means business driven. And another is the engineering practice is more like technology enablers, is technology driven. And for today's session and business transformation with front-end technology is more like we are trying to combine these two session styles together into this. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hopefully it will be interesting to you guys. Yeah. Okay, then let's take a look of the business transformation overview. Yeah. So normally in a company, right, we have two groups of people. One is technical, another is business, right? Maybe some guys in the middle and know both technical and business. So from business perspective, so then normally think things from business, right? They want to do some transformation because the current approach doesn't work, or is not working as expected. They need something, need digitalization. And a technical person, normally they will say, okay, for digitalization, we can support or trigger business transformation. But just to follow these two concepts, right? Then comes to AEPJ's committee, how we think is business transformation need digitalization. Digitalization need no front-end technology. No here is just like no so-called, right? It's not only front-end. But for today, our session will focus on front-end part to how it enable digitalization and support business transformation. Yeah. Another question comes to, have you ever seen anything is not changing in the changing world? I think last time I got one very funny answer from one of my maybe kids. The answer is, okay, my name hasn't been changed for around 10 years. Oh my God, yeah. Name is not changing, okay. But I just want to say, let's consider from another perspective. Let's say how company run business, right? What if if we take a look of the right part of this PPT, you will see what if we are still running project with waterfall. I think for some cases, maybe waterfall is still working, right? Everything is fixed, right? But I would say most will not work, right? What if you are building some web application with still based on IE 6, 7, or 8, this kind of legacy browsers without using any advanced feature in Chrome, maybe video or camera or similar? What if you are still using jQuery to build a front-end application with JSP or ASP? So for this one, I think at least Michael, me, I will not join that company. Okay, but this is the input and answer. Okay. What if, let's say, if one day your boss come here, hi, Michael, we want to go this direction, and after 5 minutes or another day, he came, okay, Michael, let's go that direction. I may try to challenge why this and that. Sometimes it's more like just tap his head and to make this decision, right? Because there is no data support your business decision, no data driven or similar. I think also we have other questions or challenges there. I also borrow one sentence from Jeff from Amazon, is what is dangerous is not to transform. Yeah. So normally, if you still have a lot of challenges, but you have no idea how to change it, normally it's time to transform. Yeah. Maybe you have cloud transformation, you have microservices transformation, you have UX, UI transformation, redesign, or you have VR, virtual reality, ChatGPT, this kind of automation, and also we have front-end transformation. Yeah. Then let's take a look of digital business transformation structure, or if we check from bottom and down, you will see business transformation normally can be split into two categories. One is optimization. We don't want to change a lot. We just need 1 month's time and get something improved. Maybe with CDN, our website performance improved. And also redesign some one flow of user journey. And let's say in your application, you have 500 pages, but we just redesign 10, more like a canary, right? Delivery or something like that. And let's say when we have 5 or 10 years roadmap, right? In maybe in 5 years later, everything should be with AI or ChatGPT or anything. Then you may need to design or transform your product to that level, and also your business operation model may need a refine, let's say from offline to online, similar. Then let's take a look from the bottom up. There are also a lot of transformation enablers. Let's say we have technology enablers, like what kind of technology can support what kind of features. Let's say if you go to the row of Nokia, so you cannot imagine we can use multi-touch, right? This kind of stuff. So how come you can design next generation experience applications or similar? And process enablers and marketing enablers. Marketing is more like, let's say in China, every user has one WeChat account. Every phone install WeChat. Everybody do shopping through WeChat mini program. So if you try to build an application in China, and you don't want to, you just build a page, a mobile app without WeChat mini program, I don't think it's a great transformation idea. At least for future enabler, it's more like a ChatGPT, it's AI, this kind of stuff. It's not working today, but you also need to consider it into your transformation, because otherwise maybe in 5 or 10 years later, your company will disappear. So also for transformation, we have different strategies. Let's say startup company, everything from scratch. You can, it's maybe no need to transform, everything built as expected. And stabilize the business. It's more like you want to refine your application. It's more like a brownfield architectural enhancement, also expanding business similar. So to be honest, before preparing this session, I thought I knew business transformation, but when after I prepared, my answer is most of stuff I knew was not exactly correct or something like that. Yeah. So then let's take a look of the business transformation reference process. It's I would say this is not one fit all. It's more like for your reference. So everything starts from business. They will concern about revenue increase. Let's say they will try to sell some products in Christmas season, and they need this product and online service ready before Christmas season, right? Time to market similar. And another thing is you should target a customer, and then you should know your customer, KYC, right? You should leverage a lot of data collection and data analysis and reporting visualization to make sure your customer, you know, right, is exactly correct or something like that. Maybe sometimes we know our customer in another direction or wrongly. Yeah. Then can define some business strategies like a transformation roadmap, whether to build some MVP and to find the pain points and similar, and also can define the transformation framework, how to check your goal is smart enough, how to check your different KPIs can be met or similar. And then comes to digital solution, right? Then our technical guys, okay, we can define our solution and use our technology enablers and to support business to achieve goals. And another thing I want to mention is this is more like an iterative process approach. We give feedback to business refines the strategy, and then we refine our solution, and then review, and then go to the business goal, meet the business goal, similar. Yeah. So then comes to front-end enablers and practices. I think this part is not very new or something. It's more like something there for years. Let's say what is the front technology enablers is what front-end stuff or new things can support you to build some next generation of your application or similar. Like a web, we can use a React, Angular, Vue, or TypeScript or similar. For mobile, we have Flutter, Terra, React Native or similar. And also we can use Electron, build on V8 engine or similar. And we have server-side microfront or similar practices. For browser, I think years ago it's not very fancy, but now we have video, audio, we can have online meeting, we can have geolocation to seek your IP address or similar. Also, we have a lot of sensors. Currently, a lot of APIs in your mobile phone, also open API to browser. Yeah. We also have Canvas, SVG, WebGL, WebAssembly, 3D aging, or a lot of stuff. Another thing is we have a lot of sensors. And for CSS as well, these are just a lot of front-end technology enablers. But one question maybe is, how many technologies have you used in your application? Maybe for camera, never used. Maybe for StreamYard, right? At least it can share screen through web browser. Yeah. And next is, let's say, front end, not only technology. Currently, is more like a SaaS world, software as a service, right? If you are still trying to do things from scratch, build everything by yourself, I don't think you will survive, because when it comes to time to market, it's better to use some existing SaaS services, right? So use the behavior tracking to understand your customer, Adobe AEM or AEP, or Google Analytics, Baidu Analytics, which is specified for China. and senses data and Hotjar and more like a heat map. And we can do some smart business. With front end, we can do some visualization and map or data visualization or map visualization or report or similar, Tableau, Power BI or similar. Another thing I want to say is the front end service enablers, which may be ignored or missed by a lot of transformers. That is market drivers. If our customers are using it, it's more like we teach our customer to use it. It's more like if they are using, we can adapt our application to that, like WeChat application, Douyin, more like TikTok, right? And the platform and attractive user experience and Jingdong, Taobao or similar, yeah. And Pinduoduo in China. So then comes to front-end transformation practices. Normally, I just list several categories, but I don't think this cover maybe even 20% of, yeah. So it's just for your reference. So I assume most of you guys already involved in transformation projects. Like you rewrite your application with a new language from jQuery or Backbone or to Vue or React or to mini program, or upgrade your version from Angular 1.5 to maybe Angular 13 or even higher version. And this kind of transformation practices. Also from engineering perspective, so earlier a lot of server-side rendering application with the JSPSP, they just use a single page application. They use a micro front-end solution to remove iframe for some legacy applications to purely single page micro front. And also big front approach. If your application only build web pages, no mobile app, no WeChat mini program, then I think it's not a big front end. Yeah. Another is for operations. There are also a lot of practices for front end, like web performance optimization, CDN, SSR, CSR, SEO to understand the customer, and a smart business. Also, we have a lot of categories, right? Currently, I want to mention is CDP is very popular, just like Adobe, they provide a CDP, custom data platform. Social CRM, I think in China, this is very popular. CRM is a legacy when we add social, which means your product will be more attractive. And O2O, I think this is also another very fancy topic, right? So sometimes you will go to some experience store, you find, okay, why it's not selling anything? When I come to the store, they ask, okay, hi, Michael, please, you can just do a shopping through our mini program and it will deliver to your home. I think that is next best experience or similar. And from operation perspective is for front, I would say currently the trend is you should leverage as many SaaS services as possible. I think it's not 100% true. For most cases, if you can take some SaaS for integration, maybe it will bring value to a business earlier. Also, a lot of companies are trying to use this kind of approaches. Yeah. Okay, then comes to business transformation reference cases. I assume this is we prepared 2 cases. Yeah. The first one is for retail industry practice, is a business transformation reference canvas. I think we just designed this for a Borderless JS conference weeks ago. And let's say for one company, ABC, right, is a China local company, has been doing business of clothes due to COVID impact. People living style has changed quite a lot, right? I just want to sit at home because it's safe, right? It's safe at least for more than 3 years, okay? So not many customers are willing to come to store for shopping. But this company revenue are heavily relying on offline sales, like store sales, right? So currently their revenue, I think, decreased dramatically. Yeah, and they are looking for some transformation consulting from technology XYZ company, right? So this is the common case in China, at least. And their business goal is very simple. I need money. I need because if we cannot earn money, then our business, our company will not be there, right? Also need to reduce the operation costing. Let's say if this work can be done by 2, right? Why we need 3 or 4? So let's take a look of the user journey. So from the legacy, the user journey is more like user go to store and shopping and complete, right? And after our transformation, I think their store will be there. And we also didn't build a lot of big front. We just built a WeChat video program because everybody in China use that. And then because a lot of people, they will compare price, right? They go to store experience of the product and then do shopping online. And then we build offline and online and to offline mode, right? So their sales increased dramatically, yeah, at least. And their transformation flow, we do have from online to move to online from offline, right? Evolve user experience and also refine the user journey. I think this is the most important one. And also refine mobile-based user journey. Another thing is from marketing enablers, we also involved in WeChat mini program or similar. This is more like a transformation and with O2O and automation, cloud transformation and online redesign. I think later Willy will give one practical end-to-end demo on this case. Another one is also another China company, right? Is house decoration industry practice. So this company has been doing design of provide some decoration designs, how your house should be designed, right? The color, here put what kind of stuff, shop are there or similar. So, but currently this is located in Shenzhen and one district, Guangdong province. And knowing they try to communicate with customer, currently is face-to-face. Once customer here, I will show AutoCAD or Photoshop this kind of 3D design and to customer. Then customer, okay, this is not good, I change. This is good, okay, perfect. We agreed, we use this one. So their user journey is face-to-face, and then we moved to online. And also for transformation, we have used WebGL 3JS and to make sure they can not only serve customers in one district or one city, they can serve customer outside of Shenzhen. And yeah, so their goal, I think, met. And this is more like we should use a lot of geolocation and front-end technologies to do that part. Yeah. So I think that's all from my side. Later, I think Willy will be presenting about one end-to-end business transformation case. Yeah. So Willy, pass it to you.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Willy. Thanks to Michael for the introduction. And next, I'm here to show a step-by-step demo on digital data transformation. Let me share my screen. Okay. And this is a business transformation case demo. And then we move to...
Willy,
yeah.
I think your screen is not shared. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm sharing. I'm sharing again.
Okay.
You can stop sharing and I share again.
Okay, I will stop sharing.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. Okay, let's focus on the case demo. And first of all, I will introduce the case background. The company ABS, a well-known supermarket, wanted to shift from offline to online, primarily because of the challenge brought by COVID-19. But after setting up their online platform, they noticed a dip in user activity and sales. And that's when they approached to XYZ company, experts in digital data transformation, for a solution. Then we got the case background, and we need to analyze the pain points of their current system. So XYZ did a thorough evaluation of ABS website, and they found out the following issues. The site had no way of tracking user behavior, a significant oversight, but the most glaring issue is the registration process. So users were being asked for a lot of information, some of them were sensitive. So you can see the list of pain points. Their current system lack of user behavior insights and poor user experience and caused the customer attrition. Then to get a clear picture, we draft a user journey flowchart like this. And if you are a new customer, you need to register and sign up. So the question is the sign up page, that's the registration page. What stood out was how many potential customers was dropping off at the sign up stage. This was a challenge and we need to addressing. Okay, let's move to next page. In this page, I want to show you the transformation flow. First of all, we need to know your customer. So, as we mentioned previously, how do we solve this? First, by getting to know your user better, we integrate tracking tools such as the Google Analytics and Baidu Analytics, which is the China locally third platform. And these tools can capture the user data seamlessly and providing an insight. Then we got the data which we collected, and we generating reports based on the tracking data, and we can analyzing the collected information to identify the areas of improvement. So this is next way is the business team to make a decision. And how to improve the system based on the report? In current cases, we need to remove complex login interface in favor of third-party login. And we need to use the visual chart, analysis user data and the transaction data. And so the third way is track user behavior using seamless event tracking. This is all the business decision. This decision is based on the data. The data is mean you need to know your customer. And I still list some of front-end enables. In the front-end enables list show all the front-end technologies. They are all normal tools, but they help us do the digital data transformation, such as React and Google Analytics, heat map tools, and some visualized data. It's all normal tools in the for now. Okay, let's move to next page. This is the case demo transformation summary. Okay, after the ABS company updated our website, the latest version chart flow is obviously different from as before. Now, as a new customer, if you don't need to input a lot of information, only use third-party login can log in on the website directly, and they still use user permission to display different pages. If the user role is admin, then they can see the dashboard page, which is presenting all the data they need to as a virtual chart. And if your permission is as a guest or a normally user, so you can directly into the product page and do the purchase. So from these 3 pages, I told you how to do the digital data transformation step by step. As a summary, in the summary, here is the thing about digital data transformation. Based on the demo, we can find that the digital data transformation is cyclical. You spot the pain and you gather data and you make changes and then revisit. We have seen in the ABS journey, and it's a model that holds true universally. Okay, from this way, we can directly move to the demo part. Let me share my screen in another screen. Okay, this is the ABS company website, and first we got the original part. Let's just dive into the original setup. This is the normal login page, and a new customer, they don't have account, they need to register. Let's click the register button and into the registration page. Okay, this is the registration page. As you see, we need to input the first name, last name, and the email address. They all have a straight verification, and all of them is required. Let's input my name, Willie, and the last name, and enter the email. Okay, let's move to the next page. In this page, we need to input the occupation, city, and the birthday. Some of them is sensitive, some such as the birthday date, and some of the customers don't want to input this way. I use this birthday date, and they can't register. Okay, let me input Chengdu birthday. Continue. Okay, you can see this information list. This page is a list of information. If you are no concern and you can confirm and continue, then we register it successfully. Okay, thanks for your submission. We come back to login and sign on the website. And then the password. Okay, sign in. This is a product list page. We found they had a lot of products in this list, and you can click the page number button, move to the next page. We also find that they have some potential promotional products inserted in the product list randomly. This is definitely don't make sense. Why they do this way? Because they lack of transaction data, so they have no idea to how can I make our potential products in our product list. They use the dummy way to insert it randomly. Okay, this is all the functionality of the original part. Let's move to the new part. First, we log out the current system back to the login page. In the new version, as a new customer, we don't need to register and input any sensitive information. And let us click the switch button in the top right corner, like this, this. Okay, you can see the third-party login icon is in the bottom, and we can click the icon, and we can log in the system directly by click the icon. In this semi-QR scan, yeah, we directly into it. even though I don't have any account. And use this way, we can reduce a lot of registration time for customers and avoid custom input sensitive information. This is how we reduce the customer registration time. And let me log out again, and this time we need to log in as the admin. Let me enter the password. You can see we got a heat map in at the top of the product list. And in the let us click this heat map, we got the click-through rate in the every element in each element in this page. And if we click through the products, and we can see the detail of each product item. And based on this data, we can find out which products are getting attention. And still, according to this data, we can analyze which product is the most popular, and we can resort the product list, such as move the popular products in the front of the product list. So this way, you can find out all the improvement actions based on the data we collected. Okay, next you can also find the menu added a new page named dashboard. Let me click through the dashboard. This is the dashboard page. It's present everything from sales to the users. You can see we got the total sales, we got the user visit data, and we still got the payment account. All of them were using virtual charts, such as the total sales payment and the user visit. And the sales tape, you can see each product sales count. And based on this flow chart, based on this chart, you can analyze your product and do some improvement. And still got the user conversion rate. You can see the custom flow and the payment count based on the different stories. And I want to say with this data, we can improve our system more easily and efficiently. Okay, and this is all the functionality of this demo. And I introduced the digital data transformation flow and how to practice it. I hope it provides the idea for you how to do digital data transformation. Okay, let's pass the mic back to Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hello. I think let me try to share my screen. Siva, yeah. Let me try to share our. Yeah. Maybe Willy, can you reshare the thank you page? Yeah.
Okay, let me share the last page. Okay, this is and for information.
Well, guys, we faced a batch of troubles. I think the last slide wasn't clear. Maybe you can share some links in the YouTube chat, or just to make some kind of wrap up to guys. And this was a pretty interesting. You're very scientific and very solid approach driven. I was impressed. It was very interesting. That's why, if you can share something to connect all.
I think
Yeah,
finally
we can.
our PPT is there. Okay.
And we have a question to you guys. Question about: are there any position in IT sphere connected with the life sciences?
Any artifacts or connect to life science, right?
Yeah, some kind of position or official tenor, as I understand the question.
So I think maybe we are not in the right position to answer this question. Yeah. As of now, if you are interested, maybe you can send an email to, if for hiring, right, send an email to epan.com. Yeah.
If you hear us, yes, just guys, encourage you to send the application.
Yeah.
Generally, guys, I'm impressed about this business transformation. Also, I was impressed. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's great to hear that, because we have 3 minutes left. So not sure if any other questions we can answer. Yeah.
Maybe for some follow-up, how we can know more about, especially Chinese situation, or how we can, where we can gain your knowledge more.
So because for transformation, right, as you know, currently, at least in China, because there are a lot of small companies, a lot of companies doing business offline, right? After 3 years of COVID, I think their boss mindset changed quite a lot. So that's why in China, I think the transformation culture is very popular, just emerging, everywhere or something like that. So if you want to know more information about China, you can send an email to us, and or we can connect offline to discuss more. Yeah. Normally in China is WeChat, and more like a market enablers we should take into consideration. It's a little bit different, maybe with global solutions or considerations. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you a lot for sharing. Sounds good. It's also hard to find your LinkedIn. So if you want to share your contacts, please do it. And
yeah. Okay, I think we can share later. Okay. Yeah.
If you want.
Okay. Okay, then I think thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks,
guys.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. This was very interesting. See you.
Yeah. Yeah. See you.
And
Okay, and that's it. Okay, guys, we've reached the closing session of this Borderless JavaScript Community Conference. And let me tell you something. That was a great day, really. I'm thrilled to see this solid and mature mix of technical talks and not that technical talks, but still. And of course, I have to say thank you. Thank you to all of you. And of course, to our speakers, and with your friendly way of expressing and sharing your knowledge with us, this conference is really like priceless. And the quick and easy Snake implementation in ChatGPT, like elegant state management ideas from Nina, inspiring and funny ideas from Alex, Kahoot game, and some serious business about the business transformation talk. Thank you. Thank you all. Really priceless. And of course, thank you to all our viewers. Well, you've dropped a lot of comments and they were really useful. So they helped to make this conference even better, literally. But anyways, I really encourage you to click like button and subscribe to our channel. And of course, subscribe to social network accounts of our communities as well. But before we drop, see you all tomorrow, because tomorrow we will have the second day of this great and amazing conference. And our plan for tomorrow is the following. So you will see a lot of things about generative AI and AWS. You will know more about TDD with ChatGPT. Well, you will hear a lot of tips and tricks how to develop your blogging skills in this AI era. And of course, we will have some controversial hot topic about managers at the project. And you will hear more about modern framework paradigms. And of course, we will have a game, right? We have a Blitz game about JavaScript. And tomorrow will be the second day of this conference. And I'm really, really excited to see you all tomorrow. So sounds way promising. So thank you very much, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye.